Imagine living alone in a one-room cabin outside Phoenix with no electricity, no phone, no running water, not even a car to drive to the city to enjoy those modern amenities. Sounds pretty horrible, doesn't it? Well, it's the life Geoffrey Platts has chosen because of his love of the wild, and now he's written a book about his unique desert experience called Trek, Man Alone in the Arizona Wild. Geoffrey Platts is our special guest today. Welcome.
Thank you.
With your lifestyle, it must be a real culture shock, even coming into the city, seeing all the traffic, the pollution, the people.
It's not as bad as one would think. I have lived an urban existence before, and so I remember it, and I grew up in one, essentially, so that to come into the city is just to change gears a bit and look forward to getting back to the cabin as soon as I can.
As soon as someone gave you a ride, right?
Yes, or I walk a lot, too. I do walk quite considerably.
Which is about 13 miles into the city?
It's about that, yeah.
Now, your
about 3 hours.
Your book is a compilation of 8 journals that you've written over your years trekking through the Arizona desert.
Yes.
Right? Most of us might consider just 1 or 2 hikes in a lifetime just plenty enough for us. And yet, this is your entire life. What is the attraction?
I can put it into 3 words: silence, space, and solitude. Those things are they're intangibles, but they're enormously important to me.
You have, I'm sure, some unique experiences out there that you talk about in your book. The Arizona desert can be very brutal, especially in summer, and yet I read that that's when you do most of your hiking?
Well, as I said earlier, mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun, but actually the beauty of the Sonoran Desert in the summer is that it comes into its very own. It is all the systems that are created for it are geared up to accept and deal with the summer, and I feel that if it's good enough for the plants, it's good enough for me. And in fact, there are very few people out there, so I have it all to myself.
Must be lonely.
I don't find it lonely. I don't have a sense of loneliness. Aloneness, perhaps, but I really enjoy that very much. It's extremely peaceful. Tranquility is very important.
Just you and all the rattlesnakes, huh?
Yeah, they're friends of mine. They've never given me a hard time.
No close calls?
Never. Every time I've come very close to rattlesnakes, and they've never bothered me once. They're always gentlemanly. They let me know when they're around, and I respect them, thank them, and go on my way.
What would you say is the one thing that the desert has taught you, the one most outstanding lesson you've learned from being out in the desert?
The one that I aspire to learn is patience.
Have you learned it?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there slowly, but I come from a culture, of course, that is an impatient culture by nature, so it's not as easy as that, but I think the natural world has helped me a lot with that.
You've probably heard about this rush towards environmentalism that is going on right now. What do you think about that? Do you think it's going to be long-lasting? Is it going to make a real difference?
It has to make a difference. It has to be long-lasting if we are to survive, as a matter of fact. I've been an environmentalist for 17 years, so it's very close to my heart. And we need to be out there on the line in defense of the natural world if we are to save it for itself and for us.
Do you envision a time that you will join the rest of us in the 20th century and live in the city, change your entire lifestyle, or are you going to stay out there in the desert?
I think I'll remain in the desert, yes.
And continue writing, I hope.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Geoffrey Platts, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you,
and everything you'd want to know about the desert is in Geoffrey's book called Trek. If you'd like a copy, you can send $10.50 to Carefree Communications, Box 5268, Carefree, Arizona, 85377. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you very much.